Put your shooting in the shade. Crow is out on the hottest day of the year so far. Nicole wants a rabbit with her new airgun and gets help from an expert.
John is an aficionado.
And James Head tries out all the fun of the modern BB gun. Paul Childerley introduces our new round of competition prizes, plus David is on the Fieldsports Channel new stump. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain.
Cheers, David.
Andy is going in hot and blind. It's set to be the hottest day of the year so far, so Crow needs to think carefully about hide and shade.
I know you're made of ice cream, David, and I'm getting to the age where I don't need to be standing in the sun all day and frying. And you'll be pleased to know, David, I can trim all these nettles off for those little white legs.
Plus, he hasn't had a chance to do his homework on what is a massive acreage of cut rye. He's going to have to read the birds as we find them. Thankfully, a bit of fieldcraft can help us out.
The ones that are going out the trees and getting off the ground this early in the day, it's just after, well, it's about 11 o'clock now. They're the ones that got here early this morning. They're the local birds that have come from across the road and out the woods, just they're local. It's the ones that are higher, they're the ones you want to be watching, because they're coming from distance to get here, and the line that they're on, that is the line you want to be getting under. Right, we've just seen a load of pigeons got out of these trees, and there's a wood in on this corner. A lot of pigeons coming to it. They're feeding on this whole crop and then going over there, going back and forwards from the two, because they want the milky wheat to help them, well, for moisture as much as anything, and this stuff pretty dry.
And you reckon that the actual shotgun noise will keep them moving?
I'm hoping so, because we're in a valley like that, and it's right the way down there, and we'll be shooting that way. The wind, what wind there is today, is blowing that way, so hopefully it'll rattle down through there and keep things moving. I think all in all, we're going to win a chicken dinner. I think we'll be like a chicken dinner time being sat in this sun, David. That is what it is. And the other thing, where'd you get them milk bottle eggs from?
Yeah, I know.
They're white.
I think it's the first time they've ever been out, actually.
Ever?
Probably.
I'll say they're pretty white.
They are.
Welsh,
Welsh white.
Yeah, are they stinger nettle proof?
No.
Ah, nor mine, but mine are hard. They don't look hard. You'll be screaming when you get them stinger nettle in it, David.
According to Crow's calculations, this hide position should give shade for most of the day. It needs some groundwork.
A summer.
It's like Thor. Did it come back to you?
Dan Thor. Sorry, Dan, only a joke, mate. He's bigger than me. I think Dan's a lover, not a fighter.
He's a gentle soul. He's a big unit.
He's a unit. I quivered when I first saw him. Now he quivers when he sees me with excitement. I'm joking, Dan. I can put my seat there. Gosh, flat out. Right, David, I must get on. Getting a bit of a sweat on.
With one whirly and half a dozen real bird decoys propped up on the stubble, Andy thinks we're good to go. He's using his new blue F16 and some rather smart looking Teague chokes which make his 34-inch barrels look like a punt gun.
Ivan from Teague sent me some down, and he knows I use my choke to use it extended. So, but yeah, he's done me quarter and 3/8. I haven't tried the 3/8 because I've used the quarters and I love them. So, but yeah, they've been performing well. I shot a couple of good ones this morning.
So again, tightness increases range.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I shot one just a minute and that was way out there. You was brushing the sting and that was off your legs, David. Brushing the sting and that was off your leg.
Yeah.
And they're titanium, which is they're nice and light.
The chokes are not the only new addition to his barrels. He has ShotCam's new Gen 4 Mini, which not only saves David's bacon on those tricky birds, it's 33% smaller and lighter.
It's a lot lighter, a lot lighter.
It is. Yeah, I've noticed it straight away using it. You always know they're there, especially on a longer barrel like this. You always know they're there, but once you've had 2 or 3 shots, it's not there sort of thing. I think a lot of it's psychological. It's a bit like those stinging that in your bloody legs, David.
Crow needs a tidy up and he feels the pigeons behind us are not seeing the whirly in front of us, so puts a second on the corner to try and curl them back before they commit.
I've got the rotary tucked up under the wood to try and pull them into here. I need to be pulling those ones from around there. We've had a couple come around the corner, but I think if I've got a bit more of a pattern here and then put a rotary just out here somewhere, because they'll see that and they'll see the pattern and then go round it to come back into the pattern. That's the plan anyway.
After putting up the whirly, he grabs his pillar glasses from the car. He lost a lot of kit when his previous truck was nicked in February, including keys and hearing protection. He was grateful of a new set of lenses for the glasses as he had a close call at a recent sim day.
Not only to make me look pretty, I was up at Water Priory a few weeks back at a charity shoot, and I don't know if you'll be able to pick up on it.
Yeah.
That's where a lump of clay hit me there, and I had a hat on as well. We all had to wear hats, and I'm not a lover of wearing hats. I do have to, and I had a hole on one of the stands. I had a hole clay come down the edge on, cracked me on top of the head. It was only the hat that saved me. So within about 3 stands, I got one that hit there and scratched my lens, and then I had another one hit me on top of the head. So it just pays that you've got to think the worst even if it don't happen.
Crow is shooting well and his pretty F16 has been getting a lot of attention on the circuit. So much so that Blaser has sent more of the blue versions over.
I've had several people.
Several? What, just like 2?
No, my idea of several is half a dozen or more. No. No, I've had quite a few people ask when I've been at different clay shoots and different events and that, sim days and that. Several people have asked. They quite like it. It is quite pretty as it goes. I love it.
But Frederick said there's some in the country now.
Yeah, there's definitely some in the country, and if you contact your Blaser dealer, I'm pretty certain they know about it and they can point you in the right direction to picking up another one.
Okay.
Crow likes a target, and even though things are slowing down, he wants to get to 70 birds. He does so after 5.5 hours in the hide.
Let's go pigeon shooting, he says. Have a day out together, he says.
You enjoyed it, didn't you?
I did, I loved it. Yeah.
Did you get 70?
Exactly 70. I said we'd pack up when we got 70 and we got 70.
I know, the last 4
The last 4,
were then anticipated.
they didn't really, they switched off, hadn't they? But yeah, some of these old pigeons, they're quite small. This one's wider, a lot longer tail, or just longer.
Yeah. So age-wise, I mean, any guess?
Probably come from abroad.
Really?
Yeah, well they do migrate over and you usually get lots of small ones this time of year. There you go.
And they're just not as
They're just a smaller bird.
as our lot.
No, that's a David Bright and that's an Andy Crow. That's the difference.
What do the legs look like? They look like
Uh,
the legs thinner on them?
This one's been immac'd, and this one is a bit like yours, Dave. Hasn't had anything done.
It sounds like these two have had a bit too much sun. But those birds did end up as kebabs later that evening. Winner, winner, pigeon dinner. If you want to find deals on all of Crowman's favourite gear like the F16, the shot cam, pillar glasses and Teague chokes, we have created a dedicated page on our website. Every purchase you make from this page helps support the work we do. Thanks, Andy. And chokes. I don't think there are many wrong answers with chokes. You may disagree. What do you use? Comments below. Now, what's in this week's Fieldsports Extra? A government minister, a disappointed BBC TV presenter, and my dad's back.
Death, diversification, or divorce, I suppose.
This week's Fieldsports Extra prize draw is for antler cufflinks and shotgun cartridge key rings to get the price at £102. Find out how to enter the draw for that in Fieldsports Extra, the exclusive behind-the-scenes show for members that goes out to them on Tuesday nights. Link to membership below, now with insurance and with Layla from the Field Sports Advice Bureau, FAB. Next up, just stop screaming from the stingers. It's David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. Wild Justice lost yet another debate about grouse shooting in Parliament. Year after year, the anti-gamekeeper organisation runs a petition to ban grouse shooting. Its supporters sign it, they cross the crucial 100,000 mark, which triggers a debate in Westminster Hall. Year after year, the government, both Tory and now Labour, voices its support for grouse shooting and grouse moor management. Among anti-grouse shooting proposals in 2025 was a plan to force the sale of English grouse moors in Scottish-style community right-to-buy schemes. On the positive side, DEFRA Minister Daniel Zeichner said, as usual, that the government has no plans to ban driven grouse shooting, and support this year came from former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak.
From Heathcliff to Holmes, the moors have become a proud part of our cultural heritage, and nobody has set out a viable, privately funded alternative vision for these uplands. Without the £1 million of private income spent by moor owners on land management every single week, that proud heritage would come to an end. Overgrazed by sheep, used to grow pine timber, or abandoned to bracken, the moors as we know and love them would be lost. That would be a disaster for British wildlife. Academic study after academic study shows that endangered wading birds such as curlew and lapwing are much more likely to breed successfully on managed grouse moors.
The RSPB lobbied politicians ahead of the grouse shooting debate. The bird charity claims that more than 100 hen harriers have been killed or gone missing in suspicious circumstances over the past 5 years. Protected by parliamentary privilege, it multiplied that figure by 5 in a speech read out by one of its MPs. It blames upland gamekeepers. The RSPB's claim flies in the face of their own figures, which show that convictions for raptor persecution convictions are at their lowest level for decades. Charities can campaign for changes in the law, policy, or decisions that align with their charitable purposes, but there are no rules on whether charities can be penalised for lying. Unless it's an academic report, don't believe it. Highlands and Durham universities say they are going to work out what deer do when nobody's watching them. Researchers have fitted GPS collars on red deer in the West Highlands to help track their movement and behaviour. They've put the devices on 22 stags and 6 calves. Although the information is available from local deer managers, scientists say that this is how to discover red deer's seasonal migrations and home range sizes. Scientists reckon they've cracked the problem of protecting capercaillie chicks from predators without shooting predators. Researchers from the universities of Aberdeen and St Andrews left out deer carrion for predators for an 8-week period when capercaillie are nesting and hatching, and claim the number of chicks per hen has risen from 0.82 to 1.9. Unfortunately, since the 2010s, capercaillie numbers in the cairngorms have fallen by up to 2/3, according to the RSPB, which supports this project. Scottish politicians are calling for a nationwide summit to tackle the issue of seagulls. former Scottish Tory leader Douglas Ross told the nation's parliament during a debate on the issue that people risk losing their lives over the growing problem of nuisance gulls. Scots are being left scared, attacked and traumatised, and fellow Tory Rachel Hamilton added that gulls left a girl with gashes to her scalp and blood running down her face. They want the Scottish Government to expand a seagull summit in the north of Scotland across the whole nation. There are fears for the future of ammo manufacturer Privy Partizan. The Serbian company may not be allowed to export its ammunition, widely used in the UK. Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić announced this week that the country was halting all arms exports following pressure from Russia over its supply of gun and ammunition to Ukrainian armed forces. Thanks to Per Holmseth for the story. The Australian authorities have shot around 1,000 koalas from a helicopter in a national park. After a bushfire burnt through more than 2,000 hectares of land in the Bungebim National Park in April, the state government's Environment Department said it was necessary to prevent the animals' suffering. Now a New South Wales animal rights group is taking the Victorian government to court over the cull. And finally, animal rights fanatics PETA have not won support for their latest campaign against the UK's royal family. PETA called the Prince of Wales staggeringly out of touch because his Cocker Spaniel had puppies. The US group said nobody should be churning out a litter when shelters were full of dogs needing homes in what it calls an animal homelessness crisis. Prince William was pictured with his dog Orla and 3 of their puppies in a photo taken by his wife Kate and released by Kensington Palace on Saturday for his 43rd birthday. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David, who asks everyone please to like this video and subscribe. Thank you. Next, Nicole is hunting rabbit. Nicole Moore wants to take up air gunning. Happily, John Peake from Fortis Clothing is an air gunning nut. Nicole is so happy about this, she bursts into song.
Because John is an aficionado. When it comes to air rifles, like, he literally spews air rifle. So there was no better person than you for me to come out with, 100%.
Thank you very much.
But just because of your knowledge and your patience as well, as someone that's new. Well, patience. Your patience with me as well.
Always tested.
I've been trying to shoot rabbits on my permission near me for a while because all the crops are up. I haven't been able to get anything. Really grateful that you've let me come here. You know the land, you know the farmer, you know how much trouble has it been, the rabbit's been for him?
Yeah, well, he's obviously got cows majority of the time in the fields, but they seem to be concentrating up in this area, so he's asked if I can come in and just try and get the numbers down as best I can. Okay. It's not an ideal location because you don't have any cover here.
Yeah.
So we're going to be putting a little camo net out to give ourselves a little bit of cover as best we can.
We're going to be shooting prone, right, lying down?
We are indeed, yeah.
Which is quite a new concept for me. I normally am either standing or sitting on a bucket or something with my stick. So I like that. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for me as well because it's a new...
You'll soon find out how good your back is.
Oh, God.
Other people start with air guns and move on to other kinds of rifle or shotgun. Nicole started with her shotgun certificate, her FAC, and this is her first outing on rabbits with an air rifle. To get Nicole her first rabbit with an air gun requires prep. Lots of range time and some good quality kit from her sponsor, Hike Micro.
Obviously I've been practicing on targets, so just getting used to how an air rifle works, even just loading the magazine and reloading, all that kind of stuff is a completely new mechanism for me and a new concept.
You'll also find that the quarry will react in a completely different way to what you're used to, because air rifles are so quiet, you may get away with a second shot if you miss with the first. So it's learning not to come out of the rifle.
Yeah, just reload.
Just quietly reload, take your time, nice and steady. And what you will find as well with rabbits, if you watch their behaviour, if you do startle them, they'll run to the edge and then stop.
Right.
And that's when you'll get your second shot away.
Because I'm used to the bigger balls, you know, the 2.2, 2.43s, it's the power of the rifle, but also we've had many discussions about the difference between a 22 and a 17 HMR. In the rifle, in the air rifle, I've got the 177, is it?
177, yeah.
Which is the equivalent of...
That's how your brain works.
That's how, see? Excuse my naivety. But yeah, that's so...
So a 177, the trajectory of a 177 is a lot flatter.
Okay.
Whereas a 22 will loop a lot more.
Yeah.
So when you are shooting at 30, 40 yards, there's not so much holdover that you need to worry about.
Fantastic.
But obviously the benefit of the modern day scopes with the digital age is they work it all out for you if it's got ballistic calculator.
So there might be a bit of competition there because we've both got HIC microscopes on our air rifle, but I've got an older one and he's got a brand new one. So
A rabbit comes out, but the shot is not plain sailing. Just as John predicted, she gets another chance.
Yeah, that's a great shot. That's dead. Well done.
it's so exciting, but I'm getting used to the equipment at the same time as keeping calm and controlling my breathing, ready to take the shot. It sounds silly, but even little things like recocking after the shot, after the first miss, it's like, oh yeah.
We always say it doesn't matter how big the quarry when taking a life. It's quite a serious thing to do, and no one wants to see an animal injured, so you want to make sure you get the right shot. So obviously your adrenaline gets going and you do forget things and you get in a panic, especially when you're not quite used to all of this. But obviously you could see the reaction of the rabbit.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of air rifles, they're so quiet, you will get 2-3 shots at it.
And it just stared at me.
But your,
like, stay there.
Your adjustment was perfect. Well done, hell of a shot.
That was, I'm very happy with that. So, and he was a big one as well. So
big rabbit.
That was great. It was the perfect combination of peace and quiet, being close to your quarry, and the perfect shot. So really happy. I've learned a few things as well, just in terms of kind of getting grips to the equipment.
In fairness, I was very impressed with your adjustment when you missed with the first one, without really knowing exactly where you missed. You took the time, but as I said to you, don't panic. You will get a second shot.
Yes, and it did exactly what you were saying. It kind of just
sat
looked
there,
and sat there, and yeah.
And it's exactly what you just said. You've got a new piece of equipment there that you're not used to. Maybe spend a bit more time with it, learning all the features and functions of the air rifle, of the scope, and how well they work together. And many people have documented many times, pellets as well. Some pellets like some rifles, some don't. So
That's the thing,
it's just learning all your equipment, your quarry and the field that you're shooting in. So obviously going back to the days of a glass scope, you had to literally learn your distances, your holdover, spend a lot of time with your scope, learning its mil dots, all that sort of thing. With the digital age, you do have a ballistic calculator in a lot of these things, but it's just an awful lot clearer. It's a lot easier to use. But also we are going to fall, if we're not careful, into the trap of relying on it too much. Yeah. I would still recommend getting a glass scope, learning the basics, go back to basics and learning, understanding what you need to do if you miss, what holdover is, all of those things. But moving forward, digital is definitely the future, without question. The fact that you can put an infrared illuminator on these scopes and make them instantly into a night scope as well.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And of course, they record your shots, your hits and your misses.
For me, the digital scope really helps in terms of the amount of light that it brings in. So the clarity of the shot for me is just so much easier. I love the filming capacity. I love being able to look at my shots afterwards, slow down and see if I have gone wrong, where I've gone wrong.
With recording it, you can see if you wobble, all of these little things. It's a great teaching aid as well, so yeah, brilliant.
A lovely afternoon. Nicole's first airgun rabbit, made possible for her by her sponsors, Fortis Clothing and HIC Micro. And there are links to both of those below. Thanks, Nicole. And a reminder that if you want to take the Shooting Academy's airgun course and gain a qualification in airgunning, there's a link to it below. Now, our fieldsportscompetitions.co.uk raffles website has a raft of new prizes. Here's Paul Childerley to talk about one of them.
Morning guys, I'm here today with Cab, getting my new dog box and draw system fitted. Right Ian, just tell everybody what's up for grabs.
Right, yeah, basically Paul, what we've got is a £3,500 value for whatever vehicle. So it can be a van, it could be a pickup, it could be a 4x4 or just a plain car. And the idea is that we will make it up to the value of £3,500.
Yep.
With all whether you want electrics, double boxes, triple boxes, whatever system we can get in for that value of price.
Yeah. So what suits the customer, you'll make it to their spec.
Yeah, we don't say you've got to have what you are having or what I've got on the shelf or something. It's custom made to suit each individual person. So whoever wins it, whatever idea they've got, we'll work with them and work it in that way.
And all they've got to do is go across to fieldsportscompetitions.co.uk.
That's correct.
Enter there and they have the chance to win it.
Thanks, Paul. The prizes in full are a bespoke CAB cab animal transit box voucher priced at up to £3,500, a pair of Brandicos Servo Rosso boots at an RRP of £369, a Deer Central Stalkers bundle at £225, and a pair of custom fit Guards CF Digi electronic ear defenders at £399. I use the cheaper version of the custom fit Guards ear defenders and they are excellent. Visit fieldsportscompetitions.co.uk. Now, imagine this for your next back garden entertainment.
So here I've got a Colt 1911 replica BB air pistol. And here I've got a Glock 17 Gen 4 replica BB air pistol. We sell an awful lot of the BB pistols. They suit the people that just want to come here, have a little plink on the range. They want to have a bit of fun in the garden. And they're really good fun. They're built well and they are very good replicas of the real things. Obviously you can't actually own a live fire of this. I would say the next best thing. The Colt is £170 and the Glock is £200. Very similar in price. The Glock you're paying a little bit more because you've got a blowback action and the Colt isn't blowback, it's a fixed action, so you do get a little bit more feedback when you're firing the Glock. I'm in love with the Glock.
For more from Crackshot, visit crackshot.uk. Thanks, James, and that's it for this week. If you haven't done so already, please visit our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow us on X and TikTok. You can subscribe to us on YouTube or pop your email address into our weekly newsletter box and we will contact you about this show. Fieldsports Britain is at 7 PM UK time every Wednesday. And this has been Fieldsports Britain, me sporting the cigar-smoking hunter t-shirt, Fieldsports member and fellow YouTuber. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.